Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome to another Mandela Effect video. First of all, I'm so sorry if the lighting is really weird. I'm filming it like a weird part of the day, but I have good natural light right now, if I could talk. I have good natural light right now, so I'm trying to get this filmed. Also, sorry about the background. You're balanced on quite a few things right now, and I'm trying to see you in like a mirror that I have behind my camera, but I hope there's nothing crazy in the background. I don't think there is, but I'm so sorry if there's something that is distracting. Also, and lastly, if you hear any knocking on my door, I had to shut the door to film this, and my two cats are on the other side trying to get in, so just try to ignore that if you can. I'm so sorry though. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Today is another Mandela Effect video. I'm pretty excited about this one. We have quite a few new Mandela Effects, or at least Mandela Effects that I haven't talked about before. Not all of them are really that new, but I can't wait to hear what you guys think about these in the comments below. Please let me know. You guys have been loving these Mandela Effect videos, so let me know of any Mandela Effects that you know of that you want me to talk about, or anything else that you would want me to talk about. I'm thinking about maybe starting some new video topics on my channel, such as like conspiracy theories or other things like that. So let me know if that's something you would be interested in. And thank you so much for all the feedback on these videos, guys. You have really been so helpful in me figuring out what you guys want to see. So without any further ado, we're just going to go ahead and get into it because I know that's what you're here for. Okay, so the first one is kind of something we've talked about before, but there is another Mandela Effect about this topic, and that is the thinker statue. So I know on here we've talked about before where the thinker's hand is on the statue, if his fist was on his forehead or if it was on his chin. A lot of people remember it being on his forehead, but it is indeed on his chin nowadays. Now, what this Mandela Effect does have to do with his hand as well, but it has to do with what his hand is doing. So if you're thinking of the thinker statue, what do you see his hand doing? Is it, if you see it on his chin, is it open? Is it closed? What do you remember? If you said his fist was in a fist, if his hand was in a fist on his chin, you would actually be incorrect. It is actually an open fist on his chin, or an open hand on his chin. And a lot of people are kind of sort of freaking out about this because they, number one, have either already remembered his hand in another place altogether, but it's still being a fist. Well, now his hand is open instead of being in a fist, as well as not being on his forehead. A lot of people are indeed freaking out about where his hand is and what it is doing. So it is indeed now currently, I'm so sorry, I feel like it's really bright in here. I'm so sorry about the lighting, but it is now currently an open hand. It has never been a fist, never been on his forehead. So that one definitely shook me, and please let me know what you guys remember, because I just don't see how this is even natural. Like, wouldn't you be thinking like, I don't know, none of that seems natural to me. I know it's a statue and it was from very long ago, but that just does not seem right. So let me know what you guys remember there. Okay, this next one is kind of like a spelling word one. I've mentioned on here before, I don't like just to do spelling videos because I feel like a lot of times, like maybe we could just be wrong if it's like one letter off or something, or maybe things really did change. We don't really know, but this one does have to do with a very popular candy, and it is the candy Mike and Ikes. Now, even just saying that, it rolls off the tongue, Mike and Ikes, right? Mike and Ikes. That's how I remember it. Growing up, I loved Mike and Ikes. My son loves them now, so it's something that I've been around and been familiar with for a long time, but it indeed has never been Mike and Ikes. It's always been Mike and Ike. And, not the letter N, and. And a lot of people are just in uproar about this, and I have to say I agree. I remember specifically the packaging, the Mike and Ike, and there was an N in the middle with a little, not two quotations, but the one. And I remember that very vividly and very specifically, that it was Mike and Ikes and not a full word. So that one's really freaking me out. Let me know what you guys think. That is one that I remember growing up. I don't know, I feel like that one changed pretty recently, but you guys are gonna have to let me know. Maybe we're all just a little crazy. Okay, coming right in with another spelling one. I know there will be some different ones, but coming in with another spelling one right now. And it has to do with the very popular, very famous, best pizza rolls ever. Now, if you think of pizza rolls, or if you eat pizza rolls, or anything about pizza rolls, what is the brand that you think of? In the yellow bag, it's pizza colored, You all know what I'm talking about. What is this brand? Tostitos, right? I say Tostitos. I've always said Tostitos. They make other things besides pizza rolls, but of course that is what it's famously known for, except it's not. And it's never been Tostitos. And get this, there's no S in the middle. It's Totinos. I could understand maybe if it was just Tostino and it wasn't plural, like maybe we all just were like calling it that because it's multiple pizza rolls, but it's Totinos. Totinos. How does that sound to you? Because to me, it sounds completely wrong. I love pizza rolls. I grew up eating pizza rolls. I feel like it's a childhood staple for most people. Again, my son also likes pizza rolls now. Whether you're an adult or a kid, I feel like this is a staple household snack. So what the heck is going on? I guess we don't pay that close attention to the brand name. Like we all just like pizza rolls, but Totinos, like what is that? I swear it was Tostinos. Swear, like I would bet money on this one. Like everybody knows Tostinos pizza rolls. Everybody, that's just like a staple, right? And so yeah, it's never had an S in it. So I don't know what more to say on that. That's just absolutely not correct. Simulation, CERN, something, not correct. This next one has a little bit of a backstory. So I remember growing up, my dad always had like a work vehicle, okay? Like his job always provided him with a vehicle. And I remember when I was a kid, like they were always trucks with like a bunch of tools in the back, so it usually just had a front seat. And when we would be outside playing when we were younger, my dad would let us like play in his truck. The truck wasn't on, the keys weren't even in. He would just like literally let it be unlocked, and we would like pretend to drive, pretend to be like people who were working, you know what I mean? Like how kids play around in cars. It was totally safe, but I remember that vividly growing up. It was so fun for us. And I remember thinking that his truck was so cool because it was so big and it had these big mirrors on it. It wasn't a semi truck. It was like a work vehicle, and it had mirrors on it with those little smaller magnifying mirrors on it as well. And I remember always reading the mirror and the words on the mirror. Even in our own like minivan and things growing up, I just always have these specific memories of reading the words on the mirror. Don't ask me why. I was a big reader growing up, so maybe that's why. But I vividly remember the mirrors always having words on them and always reading them because I thought it was weird that they had words on them. And you might be surprised to find out, if we think of what the statement on the mirror says, like think about it in your head, what do all car mirrors say on them, on the outside mirrors, you know? They're not your rear view mirror on the outside. What does that quote say? What do you remember it saying? Because I remember it saying, objects in mirror may be closer than they appear. And I remember thinking that that was weird because as a kid, I didn't really understand the concept of how something might be closer than how it appears. And I always remember thinking that that was like weird. No, it's never been objects in mirror may be closer. It's objects in mirror are closer than they appear. That just does not sound right to me in any way, shape, or form. I do not understand how that is the quote. I can see it in my brain. I can take myself back to childhood and remember it saying, may be closer. And I have this vivid memory of this, and from playing in my dad's truck when we were younger and reading the mirrors all the time, I just vividly remember it saying maybe. And even I went and looked at my car now and it says they are closer than they appear. My parents' car, everything, I have checked this out and it all says are closer. What the heck is that? No. All right, this next one. Oh my God, I think this is a pretty old one, but I'm still gonna talk about it, and it has to do with the Wizard of Oz, which I loved growing up. I was obsessed with the witch and how she became green and like all of this stuff. Everybody loves the Wizard of Oz. There's so many Mandela effects and different, I don't know, more dark theories surrounding that movie. We're not gonna be into like the dark part of it today. We're just discussing Mandela Effect. If you wanna see a video on some of the dark things about the Wizard of Oz though, please let me know. But for this video, it is specifically a quote that the Wicked Witch said that everyone has quoted for years. And it is when her monkeys are kind of taking off and she says, "Fly, my pretties, fly." I wonder if I can find a clip of that. I don't know how to do all that. I'm not that good at editing, but if I can, I'll try. But you can look it up as well. You all know that famous quote when they're taking off, they're going to attack, and she says, "Fly, my pretties, fly." Except she never said that. What the hell? It's always just been fly, fly, fly. And these quote ones really get me, like the E.T. one, I don't know, the Luke, I am your father one, all these different quote Mandela effects. Even the hello Clarice, I know we've discussed that about Hannibal Lecter. Dude, how do we all remember the quote the wrong way? And why would we remember it? Why would we add extra words like my pretties? Like, that's not even similar. I could understand if maybe like there's a word that sounds like another word and we just kind of all get it confused, but there's been countless like reenactments of this, different like references to this film. Fly, my pretties, fly. Why would we just add my pretties instead of it just being fly, fly, fly? How do we all get it that confused? Like, there's absolutely no way. I mean, what do you guys remember? Because this is a pretty old film and has touched multiple generations. So whether you're like older or younger or somewhere in between, what do you remember about this movie? Did you watch it a lot growing up? Have you watched it recently? Please let me know, because this one is just freaking me out. I don't like it, so let me know what you remember there. And the last Mandela effect does have to do with an adult beverage. So I don't know if you guys remember the beverage Hypnotic, or if you know of it, it's still a thing. How do you remember it being spelled? This is another spelling one, but this one just sends me, like, I remember back in my high school days, like this drink, this beverage, and I remember, oh, there's my dog barking now. And I remember it being a certain way, spelled a certain way, and like it was very unique with the Q on the end. This is not about the Q. The Q is still there. But it's literally missing one of the letters at the beginning. It's not, how I remember it is Hypnotic. Some people remember it HIP, but there's no letter at all in between the H and the P. It's HPNOTIQ. It's always been that. They did not do a rebrand, nothing. It's always been that. And I know that could maybe be a little easy to confuse, but no, like you literally took out a whole Y. Maybe if it's the I, because I's are kind of, you know, they can get lost in the shuffle. It's just a straight line, but a Y? How would we, and I know like if you normally spell hypnotic, that would be how you would spell it, except without the Q on the end. But come on. Like, if you look at the bottle or if you just look at the logo, it just doesn't even look right. It doesn't even look remotely right. The only thing that looks right about it is the Q and how it's like still kind of shimmery. What? Like, what do you guys remember? Please help me out, because all of these today, I mean, it's just sending me into simulation madness. So please let me know what you remember in the comments. Okay, and that concludes today's Mandela Effect video. I know it was a little bit short, so hopefully it was a decent video for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know what you remember about all of these Mandela effects, as they are pretty much all freaking me out at this point. And let me know what you want me to talk about in the future. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see, and I can't wait to talk to you guys in the comments. See you next time. Bye!